by the
Systems Doctors,
Dr. Sheka Houston and Dr. Tammy Taylor, best-selling authors, consultants, and speakers of Create and Educate LLC. Create and Educate LLC is an educational consultant and literary firm that provides professional development to schools and community. Their goal is to transform organizations with the REALL resilient framework used to increase their school report card grades 2 and 3 grade levels in 1 year. REALL stands for Respect, Excellence, Accountability, Literacy, and Leadership. This framework is used to coach leaders and teachers and build student efficacy while putting systems in place that aligns the work of the school improvement, making the process manageable. When the work is manageable, teachers and leaders don't stress out or burn out.
the Systems Doctor.
Alignment systems are designed to help schools evolve and grow, all while instituting protocols and processes designed to promote collaboration and collegiality. The implementation of the alignment framework prevents some of the most common problems in education, where leaders sometimes aren't sure where to start, or in our new age of educating, leaders need a trusted sounding board that allows them to be vulnerable and transparent, preventing loneliness at the top. The framework doesn't just help leaders, but also prevents teachers from burning out from too many initiatives and embracing teachers as they are the experts. Finally, the framework extends to the children, helping them get engaged in school and solving a nationwide problem. Alignment systems are frequently referred to as a key element of success in the improvement process. In the sport of rowing, all rowers must put their oars in the water, succinctly creating a system for their boat to reach maximum speed. So schools that want to improve are bringing in
The Systems Doctors
to teach them all about the alignment systems that must be in place for school improvement to be accomplished at high levels. The dynamic duo provides insights into educational topics through their international platform, which includes educators, parents, and community members as a way to support important entities that make communities thrive. This is their way to pay it forward and provide the support they needed through their platform. Take a look. People who work with the
Systems Doctors
describe them as an excellent and inspiring group of leaders. They get into the weeds of work with leaders through their TrustMate Institute that you should contact them about today by filling out the contact form on their website.
It's Super Saturday, everyone. Welcome to episode 193 of the REALL Academy, brought to you by Create and Educate with your very own Systems Doctors, HERS. I'm Dr. Sheka Houston.
And I am Dr. Tammy Taylor. Good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hey, Sheka.
Hey, Tammy. So if this is your first time tuning in, Create and Educate, we create and educate so you can thrive.
Yes, when we are working with schools, we teach from our own lived experiences of raising our school report cards 2 and 3 levels in just one single year at both the elementary and middle levels using our framework, which is rooted in research-based principles that we know work.
Most definitely. And with our turnaround work, we start that work with staff and audiences, basically, that we speak to, centering our message around belief. If you do not believe that children can do magnificent things, that will impact everything, that all of your interactions with them. So a precursor to that work is centering your teams, and we do that with our team-based awareness program that provides self and team awareness. We're filling up our calendar for the fall. I just offered what we call your secret sauce, because there is a secret sauce that makes everybody do what they do, how they do it. We just did that at the local chamber and it was phenomenal. So we got a lot of invites from there to go help people figure out what their secret sauce is. Your chair is something that we offer to rural leaders through the University of South Carolina that we have a partnership with, and also the Baptist Association. We offer them your cultural crown. So if any of these are things that you think would enhance your organization, please go to our website. We'll put it in the comments in just a moment, and fill out that contact us form, and we will definitely be in contact. So please like, share, subscribe, send stars, do all of the things that the platforms do. We need help with these algorithms, so we appreciate you all for it.
Yes, please and thank you. Each Saturday, we come to you as a part of our live stream network, the Fantastic Four, which we are humbled to be a part of. Principal Sean Hurt was just on at 10 and doing his thing this morning. Principal Hurt, please offer the children our congratulations. We are so super proud of them and celebrate them with you and Erica. Then, of course, following Principal Hurt on Saturday mornings are Sheka and I with the R.E.A.L. Academy, and yours truly with Create and Educate at 10:30. And then at 10:55, the leaders mentor, the GOAT of all things leadership, with the AP and New Principals Academy, we join Principal Kafele. And then on Sundays, we close out with the PGP podcast with Dr. Mari Moreno and Principal Josh Tovar.
Absolutely. So if you are a regular, you know that it is Real Fam shout out time. And remember, REAL stands for our acronym: respect, excellence, accountability, literacy, and leadership is how we do most of the work that we do. So shout out to AP Patrick Lawrence from Connecticut. Thank you for joining us. And Tammy, you're going to put up the
I
thank you.
am. Yeah.
Miss Dot McKeever Jeter, there's only one and only of her. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Mr. David Bell, Grand Rising from Benton Harbor, Michigan. Thank you for joining us and always sharing. Chancellor Rashard Davis from Las Vegas, thank you for joining us. And as Principal Kafele stated this morning, Professor Laws, we have your wife and you in our prayers. So he is joining us from Greenville, North Carolina. And congratulations on all your success with your health journey. I've been watching you. You're doing a great job. Constance Sherrod, thank you for joining us from Mississippi. She's doing that MTSS work out there. Kiara Jenkins from Marion, South Carolina, one of our own. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Our brother in the work, Principal Josh Tovar, thank you for joining us. And as we stated this morning, Principal Sean Hurt, you all are doing the thing. So congratulations to the children. That is so awesome, with that valedictorian and all of those other honors. Just super, super proud. Deanna Klingman from Flint, Michigan, thank you for joining us. We got Miss Melissa Jones Chunu from Oklahoma. Trina Fletcher from right here in North Carolina. The GOAT, we're looking forward to you. Principal Kafele, also our mentor and inspiration. He is doing a special solo episode and also dedicating this show. And we'll see it next. I'm not going to do a spoiler, but we're looking forward to it. Sinitra Williams, we appreciate you right here from South Carolina. And our brother, Big Cheese Minner, we saw you on the radio this morning, brother.
Up, Cheese Minner.
Yes, you're doing the thing. He is one of our community heroes. He does so much work with the children here of Chester County. Never complains, just always out there doing the work. So keep up the great job. Cheese, we appreciate you.
Yes, thank you, Cheese Minner.
Miss September Devance Vance Daniels, thank you for joining us. Carol Blanchard, Dr. Rella Hicks, we appreciate you. And I think, Dr. Joe Griffin, Stacy L. Joy, we appreciate you, sis. I think I have everybody, but we appreciate each and every one of you. You could be doing a lot of things, but you are intentional about being here with us on Saturdays, and we do not take that lightly.
Not at all. So today, remember, real family, if we say something that you think sounds good during the episode or something that resonates with you, drop a reel in the comments for us.
So that brings us to episode 193 of the Real Academy. We're getting on up there with Principal Kafele. What is the number one predictor of leadership success? If you all would put that in the comments, what your thoughts about that are, your answer. What is the number one predictor of leadership success? Put those in the comments, and we'll see what you all are thinking, and we're going to tell you the answer, of course. Based on some research that we've done, but we want to hear what your thoughts are first about that, because there are so many different philosophies, so many different thought processes about the leadership work and what it entails. I had a real good conversation with a colleague this morning about, just how off-centered some of the work is. You see any answers yet, Tammy?
Yes, Melissa said collective efficacy. And guys, don't be shy to put something in here, because none of what we say will be incorrect, because there are different, leadership is situational. So we're going to talk to you this morning from our perspective, but please share with us what your thoughts are so that we are able to bring this together for you this morning.
And they got a lot of answers rolling in, Tammy.
Yes. Relationship with stakeholders. Thank you for that, Ms. Klingman. And then we've got the production of other leaders, as well as gains. And Sheka is going to share something with you about that. High teacher retention, low student referral rates. Oh, wow. Some great things. Staff retention. Again, another one of collective school efficacy. Love that, Principal Hart. How well can you create a winning team?
Most definitely. So you all's answers are right on track. And like
Yes.
Tammy said, there are no wrong answers. We're giving you one of the number one things. And so, and it goes along with some of the work that we're doing, that number one predictor of leadership success. What we're going to be talking about today is that self-awareness. When you are self-aware of your own leadership, your leadership, and what that means to working with other members of your team, how those characteristics will be received, how they will be coincide with other members of your team, that self-awareness really helps you as a leader. And we're going to talk this morning about just our own perceptions of how that self-awareness has helped us in leadership. So I'm going to start us off with just being a woman in leadership, and being self-aware of those perceptions that go along with how women are perceived in leadership. They're perceived differently by different genders. A lot of times our own genders are the ones that is most hard on us. So as a woman, I know that when 80% of the teaching staff and sometimes 90% of the teaching staff may be women, I cannot have that heavy top down authoritative type of leadership style. That's not my style anyway. But when you're working with other women, you have to know that you have to go alongside them, and you have to invite them to come alongside you to go on a journey in order to be able to effectively lead. So that awareness has helped me tremendously in my leadership journey. I didn't know if you wanted to say anything about that before I go to the next one, Tammy.
Sure, because and I think that it's important also to know she could approach that from a gender perspective, because we do have to be mindful of who you're working with. We also have to think about it from a generational perspective, because if you're not very aware of who you have working with you, you turn people off by the way that you approach them or the way that you interact with them based on the generation that they're from. You cannot just have a this is how I operate mentality, and so I deal with everybody exactly the same. Because remember, and we've been talking about this for some years, Principal Kafele has made it very clear that fair, equal, it does not always mean that things look the same. You deal with people in the way that they need to be dealt with, and they will respond to you in kind. So you have to be mindful of the fact that you're working with some people who don't want to hear a whole lot of explanation. They want to see some action, and what you need to be mindful of is put them to work. Like we don't have to talk a whole lot about this. Here's the assignment. Let's get it done. And when you get a product ready for me to talk to you about it, come on back and we'll have a conversation. But at the same time, you have to understand that you have some of us on your team who is going to ask questions and need some answers. Like we need to hear exactly what's the plan and what's my role in the plan. So just being mindful of who you're leading and customizing your leadership to match what the needs of your staff are at any given time, because those even can change. So just that mindfulness is a part of being self-aware and knowing who you're working with.
You're absolutely right, Tammy. And some of you may be wondering where this falls on our systems work. So this falls right under systems of respect, that self-awareness, and that helps you. So we're going to get right into one of the things that we offer is that your chair. It's a assessment, but it's a team-based awareness assessment. So Tammy and I both have taken the assessment that goes along with this, and both of our personalities, or the leadership edition, we are gaming chairs. So when she talked about asking questions, that goes right along with that gaming chair. We're very organized people. We are able to be very structured and very effective planner. So one of the things that we do, and I'm also a deep thinker. So as a deep thinker and a person that plans things, sometimes my plan is in my head, but I hadn't told nobody. So being aware of that makes me become more intentional about, okay, so you got the plan, Miss Planner. Make sure you effectively communicate that to everybody else on the team so that everybody knows they're part of the plan, and don't plan it out so much that you have left everybody out. You got to get some feedback. You got to get some input. So you have to make sure you're aware of that so you can make sure you know your blind spots too. Anything you wanted to add to that, Tammy?
Yeah, I think that this part is super important too. And when you take the assessment, it again is relative and situational. So what I've discovered, as Sheka said, I'm a very structured person. Organized to a flaw. Like I've got this thing all planned out. And so just imagine the two of us. We're planning PDs, sitting in the same room next to each other, and nobody's saying a word. We're just working away. At some point, we had to figure out, like, oh, wait a minute. So let's talk about this, because what's in her head and what's in my head often do match now. We're most of the time in sync with what we're thinking, but at some point we have to communicate this because it'll take us longer to get to the end product if we are working in our own minds, and that's a part of understanding who you are. And I just want to drop this footnote. For me, I am a gaming chairperson, but in my leadership for our chair assessment, I'm also the rocking chair. Now that does not fit in most of the other assessments that we have. I usually don't lean in that direction because the rocking chair, and this is something that we do in our work. So if you're interested in that, please reach out to us. But that rocking chair centers around the culture that you create in your space. And because that's the kind of leader that I am, it shows up in my assessment when I am taking that chair assessment, because the culture and climate of my building is of the utmost importance to me. And so that shows up in the way that I respond to things.
Most definitely, Tammy. And so when we do this with leadership teams, this helps you to understand how your leadership team can work together, but also understand where one another's blind spots are to be able to fill in certain gaps. I know that if I'm not good at going out to get all of that input, that I'm going to put somebody who a conference chair on my team, because there will be the people who will go out and get all of that other input that we
Absolutely.
need to make it better received. Because as we've talked about before, we know that messaging is very important. So this
And Shika,
also.
just let's make sure that people do understand too, because what's important for us to share with you when you're thinking about the team, as Shika was saying, and those blind spots, when you are a part of the team, it helps you as a team member too to be on the lookout for, okay, I know what Dr. Houston's strengths are. I know where she's going. I know how she's going to approach this. So I'm always, as the wingman, I'm listening for when I need to supplement, when I
Mhm,
need to um, soften the blow, because
mhm,
Shika and I, and this is something that I think Principal Akua told us this when we were first getting started. He was very supportive, and Sheik and I are all about feedback. Love to get feedback
mhm.
and work from that. So we were sitting down with him, and he was giving us some honest to goodness feedback. And he said, you know, you two are very intense. Y'all are gonna have to lighten up some. So we know, like, I'm listening when Sheikah's doing something. If we need to add some levity to it or some lightheartedness, I'm listening for that. And we have
Mhm.
to intentionally be mindful of that, because again, being a part of a team, especially a winning team, we all have to support and supplement one another's strengths.
Most definitely. And we don't just leave that with your leaders. We also have a version that matches and aligns for teachers. So they are the rolling chairs, the reading chair, the director's chair, and the steady stool. And then we also include the students, which are our Zenergy chairs, our bag chairs, desk chairs, and then that tailgate chair. So schools that have done the leadership part with us in the rural areas of USC are also inviting us to finish this out with their teacher and staff members to have that alignment, but to add some fun to it as well. When I work with the chamber, because we are able to vary these up based on whatever the needs are of whomever asks. Your secret sauce has a saucy slogan and also the core trait. So for the secret sauce, my assessment revealed that I am the balsamic, which is that deep and rich. So deep thinker, planner, sensitive, detailed focus. And the people who I kind of correlate with the best a lot of times are the barbecue sauce and the hot sauce, but cool with it, the ranch. Sometimes we both may be avoiding difficult conversations because I'm sitting around thinking about it and planning it all out. And then the cool with it ranch is, they're just the peacekeepers. They don't want no conflict, no trouble. So it makes you become aware of who you're working with, what that entails, and just what you have some awareness around.
Yeah, for the secret sauce, I too am deep and rich. And what we have to do again with Sheka and I, we have to keep each other centered too, because if we don't, again, we can plan and plan and plan and create and create and create because that's what we do. But we can get stuck in our minds and be doing that forever. So we have to all right, we have to give ourselves some deadlines like nope, we got to be done and this is a hard stop. We cannot do this anymore. This is it. So we're really for real about making sure that we're supporting one another. And the beauty of the kinds of assessments that we are talking about and what we're working with is there is no good or bad. And sometimes I think that's why people shy away from assessments because it makes you feel like you're at a deficit somewhere. This is all about typing, and this is about you knowing how you operate best and who you are, as Sheka said, able to connect with in a way that accentuates who you are and your leadership. And as she also stated, this is something I think that is super important. We customize these, we customize them so that we are able to give you what you need because depending on what you want as far as a team building goes, we can determine which one of these assessments is the most useful for you.
Most definitely. And some of the why behind this, employees who understand their own and others' personalities are 63% more likely to report high job satisfaction. And if you've looked at any job satisfaction reports in education right now, we all need some help with that. Organizations with strong communication and self-aware teams see a 25 to 40% productivity boost. I don't know how many of you would need that 24 to 40% boost in some of your scores, but self-awareness helps. And then 70% of conflicts stem from personality clashes and not performance issues. So we're closing out we put that our site in there. Give us a call. Let us know how we can help your team get on track. And remember to join Principal Kafele next. We are a part of this Fantastic Four PD live stream network. And don't forget about Josh and Dr. Moreno on Sunday. We appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you for joining us, and put a reel in the comments if this was helpful.
Thank y'all so much. Have a great rest of your Saturday.
Most definitely. Let me get to my closeout over here. I always got all of this stuff open. Thank you all.